Hey everybody, it's Caleb Crewy with Caleb Crewy Reports and Predicts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So before we get into the video, and this may take about a minute or a minute and a half, I just wanted to do some housekeeping tools. If you don't want to hear these housekeeping tools, just fast forward to about a minute or a minute and a half into the video, and we will start the video from there. So first of all, we did an on-site location video a couple weeks ago, and we're planning on some more. I have some different local rallies in my area I kind of want to show you guys. Also, the former Speaker of the House of Delegates in Virginia, Kurt Cox, I've spoken with him about doing an interview, so hopefully he will be on here. I want to be scheduling that this week, and some other statewide candidates. We're trying to get all the Republican statewide candidates in Virginia next year that are running for governor and lieutenant governor, attorney general next year. Also, if anybody has any contacts with the Democrats, I would be up to debating, or not debating them, but interviewing them. Interviewing them as well. So let's get into the meat of what most people wanted to come here for, and that's my presidential map I have here. And so today we're going to be going over the presidential race. Let's see. And I'm on 270towin.com. As you can see, as I'm clicking Arizona now, it changes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go starting with Arizona and go from the West Coast on over. And so we're just going to be looking at this polling. Now I have, as I'm coming up with this poll, this is my prediction of obviously who I think is going to win. I'll tell you what the polls say, then I'll tell you what my feeling is right now. And I kind of have, you'll realize I have a running theme. If it's within 5 or 6 points, I usually lean towards the president because I do think he outperforms his polls. But we go to Arizona and we see president general election. In Arizona, we see that Biden is leading Trump by 4.8 points, so about 5 points. We saw a lot of polls that Hillary was also leading Trump back in 2016, and I do think that he will outperform a little bit. So I do think that the president will win Arizona, but I think it will be close. Then if we go over here to Nebraska, now of course the president will win all of Nebraska, the state as a whole, but there's one congressional district, Nebraska 2, and Nebraska has a proportional system, and they split up their votes. So if we go here, we look at Nebraska. Nebraska 2 is leaning towards Biden. But Nebraska 1, of course, is leaning towards Trump. And so we will give Nebraska 2 to, that's Maine. We want to do Nebraska. We'll give Nebraska to Biden. And then we're going to head on over to, what we'll do is we'll go up, so Ohio, Maine, then we'll come down North Carolina, Georgia, and then Florida. And then I have some that they don't have listed as toss-ups that I want to change. And we'll do that in a minute. So if we come over here, we'll do that during this. Actually, let's go to Minnesota next. Now, if people have been keeping up with any of the polling, what they will actually realize is that Minnesota, and I'll do a Senate video that will also air this week, that Minnesota is actually a lot closer than a lot of people would think. It's about 5.8 points, about 6 points on average. That's actually the president's best state. Here's one recently that showed it tied. There was another one that showed it within 2, and that was from Emerson. So a lot of people don't like Trafalgar, but Emerson has it within 2, so that's a very reliable poll. And I'm actually going to switch Minnesota. I do think the president will actually win it this time, and he was within about 1 or 2 points last time of winning it. Now, I will also go to Wisconsin because people will say, well, don't Wisconsin and Minnesota kind of go together? Biden's up by 7.1 in Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is, I think, a true toss-up. So right now, I'll leave it as Biden winning Wisconsin. But you have to remember, Wisconsin was the only one in 2016 that the polls were highly off of. Most of the margin of error was a little closer. But I do think that right now the polls in Wisconsin are. I'll just give the slight lead to Vice President Biden, and the same in Michigan. He has an 8-point lead in Michigan, so that's why we're not switching those over yet. So let's go over to Ohio. And Ohio is kind of like Minnesota and even Wisconsin, Michigan, but it's really in the president's kind of wheelhouse. He's doing very well. He does really well. This has an even, and Trump has been creeping ahead in some of these polls, or it's tied. And so I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to the president. You know, that Senate race, they didn't have a great candidate, and it was within 5 points. The governor's race in 2018, the Republican actually won there. So I will give the president there. Now, if we go up to Maine, let's go up here to Maine. And really, we're focused on Maine 2, and that is the close. So, of course, overall, Biden's leading, but if we look at Maine 2, we have Biden up by 1, and then we have another one, Trump up by 1, and we have another one, Biden up by 3, all from this year. So I think Trump will outperform those numbers, and we will go ahead and give him Maine 1. As you see up here right now, 269 to 209. So, and if we come down here, and the next one we want to go to is North Carolina, which is going to be a very interesting race. And I will actually, when I do my Senate poll, that's another interesting one. You see, the president is only down by about 2 points in North Carolina, and I think he'll eke that out. And then we go over to Georgia, one that obviously should not be close for the Republicans, but the polling is showing it's close, and we know they had a close governor's race there. It has Trump up by 0.3%, and I think he'll win in Georgia as well. And then if we come down into Florida, see, right now it has Biden up by 6.4%, but I actually think that the president will overperform in Florida, and that he will edge out. As you see, that is tied 269 to 269. And I actually feel like the race right now is tied. That means the president in Wisconsin and Michigan is kind of eking forward. Pennsylvania, I forgot to do that one. That's one. Let's go to Pennsylvania. So we cover all our bases here. And what we see in Pennsylvania, it's actually also at 6.4. And where that was a little closer, I actually do think the president will eke out Pennsylvania. That would bank it 289 to 249. So with this map, I do think the president will win. And see, if he wins Pennsylvania, even if Biden picks up Arizona, which he could, President Trump, by picking up Minnesota, could lose Wisconsin, Michigan, and Arizona, and by keeping Pennsylvania, still win. And that's losing a district also in Nebraska. And so I overall do think that this will be what it is. I think right now, as it stands, I take that back. Like I said, I think the president will win. He's right now winning in Arizona. So this is kind of, if the election was held today, kind of how I view it. Obviously, there's a lot of things that can change and some polling that could change, but I do think that the president is strong enough to outperform those polling numbers. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means a lot to me. As we go forward, I will, of course, have the presidential today. Tomorrow, I will have the U.S. Senate up. Then I will be doing these every month. So these are my August videos. I'll do another one in September and October. October, I will post my full prediction for the House of Representatives. It's a lot of races and it's very in depth. So I want to do it towards the end instead of a little early. We're also going to be doing the state legislature battleground series, and where we'll go through the state senate races in Arizona, New Hampshire, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then those will be in the next couple weeks. And then later on, after we do the House top ones, we'll go to Connecticut and North Carolina, because Connecticut and North Carolina are a little further out of the battleground, but they also could possibly switch. So then we'll go into, for the House, it will be Iowa, Arizona, Michigan, and I think there's one more state as well, but it would be definitely those three. And so that will be in our legislative battleground series. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could like and subscribe, it means so much. Thank you guys, and you'll have a great day.